Hello and welcome to the podcast on mutations. Now, a lot of times when you think of mutations, you think of, creepy stuff, a third eye coming out of your back or something weird like that. But in fact, mutations are nothing more than just slight spelling changes in your DNA. So you have four main bases in DNA, if you recall, A, T, C, and G. And the order in which those are placed inside of your body, inside your cells, and specifically inside your nucleus, can arrange different proteins that help to make you who you are, like we talked about earlier. And so if those are misplaced, if they are deleted, if they are inserted somewhere else, then it changes the ultimate message. So if you think about it like a spelling change, like I said earlier, then take, for example, words. What happens if you add a letter to a word? It changes the whole meaning. If you add an S to it, now it's plural instead of just singular. Well, the same is true for mutations. If you add a couple letters at the end, now you have new proteins, or you might stop the production of proteins. In terms of evolution, if those mutations are passed down, now you could have a completely new set of proteins in future generations. And so over time, over a long period of time, over thousands and millions of years, these accumulations can cause pretty dramatic change. And we can track the mutation rate by tracking the spelling changes and trying to figure out, using probabilities and supercomputers and all that stuff, to figure out how fast those mutations have taken place and therefore how fast evolution has taken place. Mutations were not really known at the time of Darwin or Wallace or any other scientists that you heard earlier. It's something that's more recent, but we're finding out that it's very big in terms of being a driving force of evolution. A lot of people often think that mutations, in fact, are all harmful or bad, when in fact that's not the case. In fact, the majority of them are neutral, meaning that you may have a spelling change here or there, but it doesn't end up changing the overall production of that particular protein. You can also have some that are beneficial as well. So you can have a beneficial mutation that can code for a protein that helps to form a good adaptation. So those kind of connect together. The genes inside that form those mutations can actually affect those phenotypes that you see on the outside, because we've spoken about with genetics in the past. So mutations really are a driving force for evolution that we're continuing to understand better, and we're continuing to track, and we're continuing to see how important and how relevant that those minor spelling changes that occur each time cells divide or during the process of meiosis as well, how that can affect that organism, and then when that organism passes it down over time, how that population as a whole evolves.